Paint.
Fuck to the bird, baby.
I will go on record. I did not mean to hit the intro. I did not mean to hit that. But
this shit ain't even live though.
But it's fine. It's not, we already are. Yeah, we
but we
live.
good. We good. But yeah. But Jay, not Jay, but Scott, you're talking about that flyer. So, like, where is that? Is that in Dallas?
So you know how we have walk-ons as our Eagles bar?
Yeah.
In Plano, they have a spot called Austin Ave. It's basically the same thing, but it has like more space, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're just
meeting up.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to do like a fan meetup for people that love the Eagles that live out here.
Okay, well, shit, I'll pull up. Bro, I had to drive all the way to Prosper today, bro. Like, I'll never do that.
Why were you there, bro? That's far.
We had a meeting out there, and they got some new CEO coming into town, and they trying to show off. So, when you show off, you go to Prosper. So
yeah, that's where Dak lives.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's where Dak lives.
Because I have my Eagles shirt on too, and I have my Eagles hat. Yeah, so
I think a lot of the Dallas athletes, like the Stars, Rangers, Cowboys, and everything else, they all live out there. A lot of them do.
I thought it was like Flower Mound.
That's an affluent neighborhood then, right? Probably pretty good neighborhood.
Yeah, they either live like Preston Hollow in Dallas, Frisco, Prosper, like places like that.
Yeah, we ain't take
Antoine
you there yet, Jay.
We in Antoine's hood.
Antoine live with the fortunate folks out there.
Hell nah.
Yo, are we live? Are we live or no?
Yeah, we live, bro.
No.
We just chilling. Yeah, we just chopping it up.
Bet.
Yo, so Scott, you say you kind of annoyed by the tush push talk. So like,
bro, I'm not gonna lie. I've been annoyed by this since last season, bro. I just feel like it's one of them things where it's like it's gaining too much attention for no reason. I mean, we went over it. Nobody's ever been injured from the play. It's a football play. It's not a rugby play. It's valid. It's a real thing. Just only one team out of the 32 can do it. So
I think it speaks heavy to the teams that actually like want to keep it. That speaks heavy about them, other than the Saints, just because that's how Kellen Moore got his job. But like,
I mean, look, bro, when you have a beast of an O-line, and that's what you do. I mean, the point of an O-line is not to have skinny guys there, right? The point of an O-line is to have big, strong dudes that can protect your quarterback, that can block, like that's the whole point. And that's exactly what our team did. We went out, we got a bunch of big dudes, and we're like, oh, wow, maybe we could do this. Everyone else could do it.
That's the thing about it.
They
it's
could.
not about being better at the play.
They can't.
Just having the personnel. The Eagles got the right personnel for that play because it's not really a skill play. It's just mono versus mono. It's just at the end of the day, it's about having the right personnel to me. But I am with Scotty though. I am annoyed by the talk. It's just annoying, bro, because it's not annoying as the fact like it's annoying. Like it's just the fact that everybody cares about it so much. Like it's one play.
Yeah. Like
the other thing on that too is I saw on the Exciting Whites podcast with Reed and Cooper, they had Saquon on today, and he said exactly what I was thinking, bro. Is like if it was like a trademark play and it was like only the Eagles are allowed to run this, then okay, that would be different. Like then you want to go ahead and ban it. But there's teams out there that have strong quarterbacks, big O-lines, and they're not doing it as successful as we are. So the other thing is that we won a Super Bowl, and people are starting to say that it's because of the tush push. I'm seeing that, and that's insane to say, bro. That is like wild to say. Wild to say.
That's wild.
Like,
did you see that on Twitter?
I see it. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, bro. I've seen that on probably every social media platform. But it's like when you have a dude who ran for 2,000 yards, you've got 2,000-yard receivers. You got Dallas Goedert. Like, we do a lot more than the tush push, bro. Everyone knows that.
That's a fact.
Yeah, what
They
y'all
just
think
don't.
about Jonathan Gannon and Shane Steichen voting to ban?
I was about to say them
Man,
two snakes.
Oh
I had to
yeah,
bring it
that's
up.
crazy.
And I just actually realized that about an hour ago. I was just scrolling down Facebook and I saw somebody actually just like Antoine said, how y'all feel about that? And it's like I didn't even know. That's crazy how they're going against Philly, but it is what it is. Just show you where they
yeah.
stand.
These are the teams that voted for it and against it. But like,
Yo,
that's
shout
Yeah,
out. Let me
you
just say
would
this
think,
real quick.
yeah.
Shout out to the Lions, Ravens, 49ers, Patriots, Titans, Browns, Dolphins, Saints, Jags, Jets. Y'all some real ones.
like think
Yeah,
about what
shout out to
like
the
we took away
NFC
AJ
teams that
Brown.
voted for it.
Shout out to the
Yeah.
Yeah,
NFC.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
How
Saints
many
for the
NFC
ban.
teams voted for it? 2? That's crazy.
For a
Yeah.
band, it's funny to see the Steelers there because Mike Tomlin just was so adamant when he was talking about it. You guys also heard about the owners having an argument also about this. Like literally, they argued like they had a shouting match supposedly, or I don't know
Is
which
that like
owner.
Jeffrey Lurie or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that?
Supposedly
That's
it was
funny.
actually a heated actual argument about the whole tush push thing. Like the whole room was divided. I feel like the tush push is a 50-50 thing. Some people see it one way, some people see it another way, and the voting just shows you like it was almost dead even.
The only thing I'd be concerned about is if the tush push did get banned, I feel like we couldn't even really QB sneak anymore. Like it feels like everything would just have to be like a QB draw because if you have one player in the backfield with their hands on Jalen, they're gonna throw a flag. I don't even know what flag you would throw, but they're gonna throw a
Mhm.
flag on that. So
But I
it's
think
basically
I
like
think Jalen could do it without anybody touching him.
he can. I'm sure he can. It's probably not going to be as successful, but we
Yeah,
could
it's not
probably
gonna be.
still run it at a rate of like 70 to 80%. I'm sure. But it's
Mhm.
just like this whole thing is just
Too
annoying
much
to me at this
emphasis, too
point.
much emphasis on it, and then the owners personally getting mad over this. Like you got owners of these are billionaire owners being actually vexed over a play. Like this is a serious thing, bro, because they actually had to vote on it. Come on, man.
I'm just happy that it's
Billionaires
here.
mad at one billionaire being able to have the right roster. In my opinion.
Yeah. Facts. I'm happy that it's here to stay for at least another season just because of the simple fact that so many people do want it banned. It's one of them things like it's a perfect Philly type thing, bro. Like we're a gritty city, we hate people, and this is just what we love, stuff like this.
91% since 2022 on the touch push. 91%.
That's the official stat.
Official 91%. That's the official. That's basically
crazy.
automatic.
That's crazy.
I just think at the end of the day, I think we all mentally were preparing for it to get banned. So they made the right moves by getting AJ Dillon. I know I talked about Ty Robinson in the group text about how he played fullback a little bit. I just think they were mentally already prepared for it. I personally like how the team's not even fighting about it. Like they're just like, yo, like if y'all want to ban it, just ban it. AJ Brown said it's just an extra yard. Jordan Mailata said just ban it because he doesn't even like the name of it, bro. So it's
Yeah,
like
and
they're past it.
we have the running back for a good short yard situation in Saquon. So even if they banned it, it's not like they were going to kill our whole offense. I mean, we still
Yeah,
got
bro. I mean,
Saquon.
to be honest, if we can't gain 1 yard with Jalen Hurts, AJ Dillon, and Saquon, then we don't even deserve it.
Absolutely. See, Scotty said it. But that's the best way to say it. Exactly. So if they
That's how
banned it,
those other teams feel, bro.
we would have pivoted. They would have
Yeah.
pivoted right away. They would have pivoted and figured it out. But trust me, if they banned it, they would have just went to Saquon. Saquon have 20 rushing touchdowns if they banned the touch push.
Yeah, but to
He
what
also fell
Antoine was
short.
saying,
Go ahead.
about Jonathan Gannon and Shane, is it Shane Steichen?
No,
Yeah.
snakes.
Yeah.
Snake. His
Snake
name is Snake.
Snake. I think at the end of the day, like look at their position because they're going into their 3rd year of being a head coach.
Probably their
Like,
last two.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like
Probably
they're
get
fighting for their
fired.
jobs at this point, bro. Especially Jonathan Gannon. So I think they just going with whatever the owners say, because maybe the owners don't like it, but they rather just keep it. But I think they're just listening to what the owners say because they definitely don't want to lose their job.
What about this, Warren? Did you see the official thing was 22-10? What is that?
Hey, that's how
Ain't
we
that
beat them too.
Ain't
That's
that
how
the
we
Yeah.
beat them
disgraceful?
too, bro.
Bro, the
It could've
football
been
gods
more.
are on our side, bro. Football gods are on our side. I'll tell you what, though.
Destined?
All day today, bro, I've had one of them. You ever have a day like since the Super Bowl where you just go back and look at the pictures you took that day, like the highlights, all that stuff? Bro, I was
I've
having
had
one
a
of those
few of
days
them
today.
days. I've had a few
I
of them
cannot
days.
wait for the season,
I've
bro.
had a few of
Man,
them
who you
days,
telling,
bro.
bro?
I can't
I
wait.
just keep watching that sequence of the Cooper pick six because Antoine made that point to me back with a couple. He's like, yo, that was that. Just look at the sequence. It was sack, pick six. Like that's
That's
probably
facts.
one of the best sequences I've ever seen in Eagles history. When I watch that
Yes.
play, like that just gets me going, bro.
Yo, I got a question for y'all. Since we're just talking. So since we're talking about the Super Bowl, obviously one hell of a season. I saw Saquon say today that he thinks that Eagles team from last year was a top 5 team all time in the history of the NFL. What do y'all think about that one?
I agree.
I agree, and at the
Yeah.
minimum, I would say top 10. They were definitely one of the top teams ever, top to bottom. Just look at them ranking, player personnel, the style of winning, and then they put the cherry on top by just handing the three-peat hopes. Nobody saw that coming besides us. You feel me?
Gio,
Like,
what's good? What's good,
What's good,
Gio?
Gio?
at the end of the day, man, if you really watch football the last couple of decades, you can't even name a recent team besides the Seattle Seahawks or the Legion of Boom. To me, that was as dominant on defense, but they didn't even have the offense we had. So, to me, this is the most complete team in recent memory, and no bias, no bias.
Yeah. Well, they didn't even have those Seahawks didn't even have the receivers that we
They
had.
didn't. No, they had
No.
the defense
Yeah.
and the run. They had the
And the
defense
run
and
game.
the run game. That's how they did it. We have a full. I'm telling you, we're a pick your poison squad. You understand? Defense could kill you. Receivers, tight end, multiple things. Offensive line mauling people down is too many factors for the Eagles not to be considered one of the best teams of all time. And then the way they beat Mahomes on the biggest stage and punched him like that right in the face, and he didn't do nothing. Nah, man, you got to consider them one of the best.
I mean, that's the thing, bro. Like, people really don't, people are still going to sit here and say stuff about our players, say stuff about our organization, the fans, whatever. But we dumped Gatorade on Nick Sirianni with 5 minutes left in the clock. We took our starters out in the fourth quarter. The score of the game was 40-6.
Yeah.
This is against the team that's thought they were a dynasty, going for a three-peat. Like, it's not like we just played a fluke Bills team or a fluke Jags team that made it to the Super Bowl and then we destroyed them. No, we played a dynasty and whooped their ass, belt to ass.
We had a backup in the game, bro.
Yeah,
We had Kenny Pickett.
Even with you asking that question, Scotty, it's like even the year we won the Super Bowl the first time, we had a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense, but we went to the wire with that game.
That was the next man up mentality.
Like when I say number one defense, like we was definitely the number one defense, like solidified.
No doubt.
Offense,
that's a good point.
A top 5, top 10 offense solidified.
I'm just trying to think of other teams that like just I've seen just in my time, just like different teams. And
personally, I've never seen
we had the best
like
story. I think we had out of a lot of teams, we've had a good story too. Just like how the downfall was the year before, and the kind of like the record we had before the bye, and the way we just came out with it, and picking up a running back that another team in our same division thought was basically like done for. Like it's a story, bro. Like we're gonna see it on NFL Life. We're gonna watch
because you know what it is, Warren. Most teams either have a really good offense or a really good defense, and the Eagles had both. And they had like Antoine said, the top defense by a long mile. They were the top defense. I mean, the 2000 Ravens had a phenomenal defense, but they won with a backup quarterback. You understand that these teams were catching they were like streaky at times. It's like the Seahawks, like I said, had the good defense, but to me, I'm trying to think of a team, bro. I can't really think of recent memory that was this complete. And my
dad always talks about the '85 Bears, but I don't know nothing about
that.
That was a squad, bro.
That's the best defense. That's the best defense in history, from what I know. And I didn't watch them, but
Refrigerator Perry, all the ones.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a team in recent memory. 2015 Broncos. We thought they was good, and they went in and they got smoked by the Seahawks in the Super Bowl 43-8. That's why the Eagles reminded me of the Seahawks, because nobody thought the Seahawks were going to punish the Broncos like that. And the score ended up 43-8. You understand? Right from the rip, they were just on Peyton Manning. So to me, this team in recent memory, just try to think of a team that was this complete. It's hard.
I like this comment that Gio just put out. Like, this is really what it's all about, bro. Like,
Yeah, facts. I mean, that's exactly what it is right there.
like
Everybody wants.
Gio stated that point, and like with that, I think, bro, everybody talks about our quarterback. Everybody talks about our coach.
Everybody talks about our receivers and AJ with the diva shit, and he's
Yeah,
proven to be a
like
leader. Then and after, he's proven to be a leader. The leader.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about how Jalen Hurts is better than Lamar Jackson. I've been hearing a lot of that. But then when you sit back and you think about it, you got to look at it like this. If I'm going to put up a parlay, I'm going to choose Lamar Jackson. I'm going to choose Josh Allen. That doesn't mean I may hit my parlay, but they may not win the game. Like at the end of the day, it's based off like, do we care more about stats or do we care more about winning? Like,
All right. That I
and
mean,
Yeah,
that's where
I
the
think this
separation
generation
is.
that we got now, bro, they too caught up on the stats, like the flashiness, the highlights.
Mm-hmm.
Like back in the day, we didn't have this type of access to the stats the way that we do
so
now.
many stats.
Yeah, so
PFF,
everybody
bro. I
is
can't
so
stand that. PFF.
so intrigued about the stats instead of the winning. Like Jalen is a winner, bro. So if
Yeah.
we had to go into one game and you got one player to win that game, one quarterback. If it's not Patrick Mahomes, I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts, bro.
That's a fact. That's a
Yeah.
fact.
That's what
Even though
made
we
Michael
Yeah.
got
Jordan
Tom.
great at the end of the day. Like, take away Michael Jordan's like accolades and all that stuff. They knew at the end of the day,
He was gonna win
the
the game.
opponents, it was good. He was getting the ball. Everybody knew that he was getting the ball, bro. Like, just imagine that. They know what your play is, and you just can't stop it at the end of the day.
You remember
Yeah.
back in that 2023 season when we went to the Super Bowl, and the whole thing was like, if it was ever a close game, if the ball's in Jalen Hurts' hands, we have a chance to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, you don't just say that about somebody. Like there was other people saying that too. I mean, the only person who wasn't saying that is, Phil Sims or like those types of guys. But
Haters.
if you put
Yo,
that much trust
speaking
in
of
your
him, what I got
quarterback,
something to say
like
about him.
he said some shit today or some
Yeah,
stuff
you heard
today.
about him.
But go ahead.
Yo,
Yeah,
let me
yeah.
tell you something. What he said today about Jalen Hurts today, this morning,
Ridiculous, bro.
is ridiculous. And I'm gonna tell you what right now.
Wait, what did he say? I
Look
didn't
at
even
his
know what he said.
look at
Ridiculous.
his. You gotta watch the clip. If you look at his face, bro, and you look at his energy, you don't mean to tell me that's not hating his what he's talking
He
about.
basically said that
It's hate in his face.
all of y'all are talking about how Jalen Hurts is a top quarterback, top three quarterback in this league. He's nowhere near a top three quarterback because what you fans don't seem to remember is that right before the playoffs, everybody was talking about how he can't throw, he can't pass, he can't do this, can't do that. It's just the same stuff that he says every year.
I just want y'all to watch the video and watch his eyes and his face when he's talking, bro. That's a hater speaking, bro.
This
You
is
could.
Phil
hater
Sims or
talking.
Chris Sims?
Chris
Chris
Sims.
Sims.
Oh,
Sims?
Chris, my bad.
Yeah.
No, I was
Chris
just making
Sims.
sure. So wait, so that's what I'm saying, bro. Why do we keep having this
Bro,
argument? Like,
he
I can't
basically-
argue. I can no longer argue with people that are just stat based. Like, I can no longer argue with those people,
Right.
bro. Like, at the end of the day, the NFC and the AFC is Patrick Mahomes. NFC is Jalen Hurts. Like, that's just what it is at the end of the day. Like, that is going to be this window of quarterbacks. We can talk about stats all day, bro, but like at the end of the day, what is everybody watching? What is the most televised TV show on the NFL? The Super Bowl. Like, what is
The
everybody
other thing,
watching?
bro, look at it like this too. Like all the reason the stat thing pisses me off so much is because like when you see Jalen Hurts actually throw the ball, it's money, it's accurate. He's not always going to throw the ball when he has Saquon Barkley. So it's like you don't see, if Steph Curry, he may not shoot 23s a game. If he does, he's not, he's probably going to make most of them because he's that good at it. But Jalen's not going to throw the ball 40 times a game because he doesn't have to. If he did, he would probably be accurate. But if you look at his stats throughout the season last year, a lot of the games he threw like 20 passes, 25 passes, and it was
his
always
best
18 for 22,
Yeah,
15 for
best
20. 17 for 21, like stuff like that. Like that's accurate. So you can't say he can't throw the ball. He just doesn't do it as much as the other guys.
But look, this is basically what Sims was
Shout
saying.
out to Wayne before you land
What up,
real
Wayne?
quick.
What up,
What's good, Wayne?
Shout out Wayne. And shout
this
out DJ. My bad, Jay.
No, you good. Shout out DJ too. Yeah, shout out to everybody in the comments. But like basically what Sims was saying, I want to get back to him real quick because like I really when I watched it was boiling me because Bro, he just won a Super Bowl. He basically was saying what Scotty said. He said a couple months before the Super Bowl, everybody was worried about him, and now all of a sudden he's this great quarterback all of a sudden. And you could just see in his face like he's jealous or he's upset about something. And then he goes, I would slide CJ Stroud in his slot. Like that's who he would put. And look, no disrespect to CJ Stroud, and he doesn't have it with the personnel that Jalen Hurts got. But he took a step back. Jalen Hurts has never taken a step back in the NFL. Every year he keeps ascending to the point where he lost the Super Bowl, had a collapse, went back again to the Super Bowl the following season. So for them to continue like knocking his character, I don't understand. And what Antoine said, this generation is definitely caught up in stats, definitely caught up in highlights, definitely caught up in 300-yard passing games. They're just not seeing the bigger picture of fundamental football and winning. Winning. That's what the Eagles are, a fundamental winning football team.
It's like
That's it right there too, bro.
Like if you look at the Spurs back in the day, like they weren't the flashiest team, but every year you knew that they was going to be either in the finals or in the Western Conference Finals. And I feel like that's what Philly is. Like we just keep chopping away. It's not gonna be mind blowing, as far as like stat wise. But if you watch the game, you be like, that was a football game.
That's a fact.
That
I
is a
feel like they're
football
like
team.
a flashy Patriots. Remember when Scotty said they're like a Patriots dynasty, how they building and drafting? They're like a flashy Patriots team.
That's true.
The Patriots
Yeah.
have a system, but by how they play year in and year out, the personnel just keeps changing. But the
But that
system
was
stays the same.
the only thing about that though, and then the Spurs had Popovich too.
Popovich, yeah, that was a run, boy.
But the thing is, bro, like I think the reason why nobody gives these players and the coaches their flowers, bro, is because we talk about Howie Roseman so much. Just because him as a GM does such a great job, it's just like just bringing in the right people to where. That's why, like I said, the offseason is my favorite part of football, bro, because you kind of know where everybody's going to be at. But everybody keeps talking about Howie Roseman, and that's the real reason why we're winning Super Bowls. There's plenty of Howie Rosemans out there. Like, y'all just ain't giving them a chance. Or y'all not giving them an opportunity. Why are you not firing the GMs that you have right
Howie
now?
messes up too. Howie messed up the year before last. He didn't put enough depth on the 2020.
But Howie learned his lesson too. Chip Kelly was the GM and the head coach, bro. He had him sitting in one season out in a janitor's closet for a whole season. Like, just think about that. Like, Howie Roseman went through it too. So everybody in this whole entire just organization, they've been through something. Whether people aren't believing in them now or they didn't believe in them in the past.
And speaking on Howie about that too, real quick, Jay. When you think about it, like the fact that we went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Chiefs, started off the next season pretty good, 10-1, and then had a collapse. After those 2 seasons, the majority of GMs are just going to say, let's rebuild. Like, it's like that's pretty rare. I don't think I've ever seen something like that where you lose a Super Bowl, have a total collapse at the end of the next season, and then you win a Super Bowl the following season. Bro, we take I don't think we take Howie and Jalen for granted, but I don't think people really understand how difficult that is to pull that off.
And let's we're gonna speak about him later on, but let's throw Sirianni in the mix. How mentally
I'm just gonna
tough
say that.
do you think
him too, yeah.
How you think mentally tough after that collapse and having we were all jumping on them. Like how could we be 10-1 and lose? How mentally tough is this damn squad to come back and win a Super Bowl tonight? That's why I will never not trust Nick. I will never not trust Jalen. I will never not trust Howie. I will always trust them because, bro, they went through the low. They hit the pinnacle, rock bottom, and climbed the pinnacle again. And we watched it in a 3-year span.
I want to hear Antoine's thoughts on
Nick
Sirianni. I want to hear what he thinks about Nick with the extension and all that.
Yeah, I had my doubts about Nick, especially after the first 4 games of last year and the year before the big collapse. So I had my doubts. I wanted him gone. I ain't gonna lie to you. I want him out on the first thing smoking. Like, we can have an intern, anybody. Let's get anybody in here. Just get him the fuck out of here. But, I mean, he won me over, bro. Like, him keeping the locker room together. He got all these different personalities that he's dealing with. And everybody, all the players around him said that they love Nick Sirianni. Regardless of what the fans thought, regardless of what the NFL thought, the players loved him. And he got rewarded for his labors, because it take a lot to be a head coach and go through what he went through. His opening press conference when he first became the head coach. Boy, that was a disaster. I was
That
like,
was
man,
bad.
who
Yeah,
is this dude, bro? Like,
talking about
we wouldn't
flowers.
champion him like at all. Like that's not my coach. But I mean, he earned the right. Like he Philly for sure.
What coach do you feel like
Well
could
said.
go through that though too? Like imagine you going to work, bro. You the manager somewhere, and you got somebody that is trash. Every time you pulling into work, you seeing a sign that says "Fire this dude." Like just imagine that, bro. Like you
That's
seeing
brutal,
that
bro.
every time, and like that messes with your mental. That messes up the mental when you have conversations. Like that throws off everything, bro. So like for you to go through that, and they making fun of you because you made the flower talk, and for you to be where you at now, bro. Like I feel like he's the only coach in the NFL right now that I can think of the top of my head that can handle like being in Philly area, like just being in Philly and being a Philly coach. He's the
Yeah,
only one that can handle that.
I agree. I
And
think
I
I like that.
he the new
I
Zen
like that.
Meister, bro.
yeah,
I like
and
that. I
and
like that.
Scott's Philly born and raised, so like Scott can like give his point on that too.
Mhm.
I mean, there's been a lot of coaches, players, staff that it just clearly was not built for the city of Philadelphia, and that man embodies everything that the city is, bro. Just grit. That you don't. Nothing's nice there. Nothing's sweet. You don't get it the easy way. You gotta get it out the mud. Blue collar city. It takes a lot, bro, and it's not just Philly. It's just that's just the one that gets the most recognition. But being able to put up with a fan base like that, like I remember they had signs saying "Fire Nick" outside of the NovaCare. Like that
Every
shit,
day. Every
that's
day.
detrimental, bro. Like that'll mess with your mind, especially when you're the leader of all these groups of guys. But the other thing is too, we give a lot of credit to Nick, which he does deserve, but it takes you can still have a strong mindset as a coach and see all that stuff and then be like, nah, I'm out, bro. I need to go to like California or something. But
Mhm.
the players, bro, his players that play for him, like having them tell you, like, yo, don't worry about it, coach. Like, we trust you. That's all that matters. Like the outside noise, the media, that stuff does not matter. The
Yo,
fact that we trust you and we believe in you, that's all you need. I'm not sure that that's what they said word for word,
well,
but you know what I
the
mean. Like they
Yeah,
had
players
the
back it
support
up
of
a
the
no,
lot
players.
though.
they're
That
bought into him. They're bought into
Yeah,
him.
no, the
and that
players
helps, bro.
back it
That
up a
helps
lot.
big
They
time.
do.
Like that stuff helps. Like that Nico Harrison guy for the Mavericks.
Mhm.
He's
Nope,
like, I'd
not
be
too
thinking
much.
like,
Not
what
too
is he
much.
going through right
Not
now?
too much. Not too
Hey,
much.
we gonna see
I'm
what he
I'm
do.
Not
not
too
trying to
much.
compare. I'm not trying to compare. That's totally totally different situations. But I mean, like,
It's a
what
high
is going to
pressure
happen with
situation
that?
though.
You know what
It's
I
high
mean? Like
pressure. Yeah.
that's high pressure.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
I
Yeah.
will
story
say
time.
this
Speaking
though.
of,
Go
uh,
ahead, Antoine. Go ahead.
I don't know how everybody met, and that's crazy. Because
Mhm.
I met you guys, through people.
Mhm.
Scott actually, like I saw him at the bar, or whatever, and
Mhm.
white kid, and his energy was Philly, so I was like he gotta be from Philly. So like,
His energy
yeah,
is
he got
definitely
my
Philly.
attention. So I feel the same way about Nick Sirianni. Like,
yeah,
That was a good
he got
comparison.
that energy about him, and Scott got that same energy. So I've been rocking with Scott. That's my nephew.
And it's
my
funny because
boy,
Gio's in the
my
chat right
that's
now. Gio's in the chat right now.
Mhm.
Gio's in the chat right now. Gio is my brother-in-law, lives upstate. Nick Sirianni is from a small town named Jamestown that happens to be at the next town from Gio, ironically. Literally. And if you know if you see where Nick Sirianni's from, like literally, like it's nothing compared to like Philly. So he became Philly. Like if
Mhm.
Gio could hear what I'm saying, he knows basically what I'm saying. Small town kid, very small town, and he's just tough. Nick Sirianni earned his stripes. And another thing, have you ever heard a player talk bad about him? Never.
No.
Never, never.
They all go
bro.
to
They
him.
actually have outside relationships. Like AJ and them, like that's just
Yeah.
they're boys, bro. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, I feel like with Nick Sirianni, the type of coach that he is, the way he coaches, you have to get results out of it. If you don't get results, it's gonna sound corny. It's gonna
Or
sound
look like
lame.
clownish.
It's gonna look like clown-like behavior, bro. But like, if you're winning,
You're
it's
right,
gonna
Warren.
look like TikTok memes, low key. Like if
It's
you
like
really think
Jalen.
about it. Yeah,
Just like Jalen Hurts.
Exactly.
Like all those quotes, the quotes are starting to get a little corny now, but like you can't say stuff like that. Like where the flower blooms in the darkest room, and then you throw a
Yeah,
3,000. Like, come on now,
yeah.
bro. Like that's kind of corny, but when we're winning,
It's
it's
true. It's
cool.
true. So like
That
like,
that
Jalen
speech
can't
actually
just say these things.
turned everything around for us as an organization. Because
Yeah, it did.
yeah,
the time he made that speech, we was 2-5 in his first year as a coach.
that's
So
true.
imagine if he didn't have that speech. You know what I'm saying? So he could be a genius. You know, he could
He
Yeah.
be a
could,
genius.
bro. Like I'm thinking about that comment that Jalen made after he signed that contract, and he said, "Money's good, but rings is better."
Championships are
Like, just
better.
imagine, championships are better. Like, imagine if he wasn't doing anything, bro. Like, just imagine.
Yeah,
Like,
That would
nah,
be
but you
you're
know
not
terrible.
going to the playoff.
it's true.
Like,
It's
it
true
would
what
look
Scotty
corny,
said.
bro. So,
He a
like,
genius too.
yeah. So, I think Jalen is very meticulous with what he says, and I feel like he has a good PR team to like make sure he doesn't
I
say the
feel like
wrong
he's
thing.
super calculated, bro. I feel like
He
he
is. He
just
very
thinks about what he's
calculated.
gonna say over and over, and he just says it. But
Yeah.
the best time I ever seen him at a press conference is after the Steelers game. He sat down with that chain on,
Yo, that thing was blinging too.
600, 700,000 on his
Yeah.
neck.
That's what y'all wanted?
And this is what y'all wanted. You
And
understand?
didn't say
Like,
nothing else. Just sat
and
there. I
didn't
was
say
like,
Nothing.
nothing else, and just
damn,
was
that's
he was
cold.
looking at folks with conviction. Like, this is what y'all wanted.
That shit was cold,
Because,
bro.
bro, like, let me tell you something. This, like, we still dealing with if he's a good quarterback. At this point, just keep winning, Jalen. And you know what you got to do? Now you got to repeat to really show them you know what you're doing.
Right.
They go talk about Nick compared to yeah. He said how many star players that were let go talk bad about Nick. Nobody talks bad
Nobody, yeah, no.
about Nick. He's a player's coach. That's the thing. Like Andy
Yeah.
Reid is the same way. He's a player's coach.
I will say the immaturity stuff, like, you know, like the antics, he chilled out on that, but that was driving me crazy. You know, like
That's that Philly though. That's Philly,
Yeah,
bro.
but
Like
that's
Philly,
one thing
that's,
about coaching, bro. That's crazy. You have to
but it
like.
works. We won a Super Bowl with that. So it
Well,
works.
that's why Bill
Continue that
Belichick
shit.
isn't a coach. That's why Bill Belichick can't be a coach in the NFL, bro. Like
They sick
these
of him.
players
His
are younger,
reputation's
bro.
out there.
Like
Yeah, they sick of
yeah,
him. Nobody want him to coach him. No, Belichick's system is not going to work. Like what Antoine said, the new generation, how everything is. This is a new generation of NFL. When you really think about it. Even a coaching, Warren, those
yeah.
old school player coaches. I mean, old school like coaches. They're not rocking no more.
Now, what
Yeah.
about Vic Fangio? Is Vic Fangio old school?
He
Yeah.
is. He's old school, but he's a defensive coordinator. He
Okay.
got so he's not a head coach, but Vic
But he
Fangio.
also has he's different. He's much different in a way where like it's like, remember when you were younger and you had like a teacher, you did not want to go to that class because that teacher was so strict, you couldn't talk in class, you couldn't do anything. Like no matter how old school they are, you have to respect them. Like that's how Vic Fangio is, I feel like. He just You're gonna respect him because one, he wants to get the best out of you. You know you can believe in his scheme. You know he's smart, but there's no playing around. Like it's not even players. I didn't hear one single player say, they all said like we haven't even figured him out yet as a human, like just as a person. Like
Yeah, Jalen Hunt.
he's probably not the kind of guy you want to go to dinner with, but like you want him as a coach though.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
like,
right.
I'm gonna add to that though. So like, what you just said, do you feel like, because back when Vic Fangio was with the Dolphins, they were done with him, bro. Like they said he was outdated, he was played out, like that nobody wanted him. But he comes here, brand new team, a younger defense, and everybody just buys into everything that he's saying.
Well, if you remember, bro, I don't know how true this is, but
Good
I
point,
saw a
man.
lot of things saying that he wanted to be in Philly for like the past 10 years now, but
He
we
did.
never gave him an opportunity. So
Yeah.
people think that maybe he just wasn't taking his job serious down in Dolphins, down in Miami.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, it's kind of on par with what's happened. Like he went out there when he was down there, they didn't really do a whole lot on defense. I mean, they had a decent defense, but then he comes here, locks in everyone. You got rookies putting up Hall of Fame numbers, like stuff like that, bro. It tells me that it probably was true.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I did hear that too about him sabotaging. I did hear that once, him sabotaging his job to get to Philly. But think about this, because remember in 2022 he was a special consultant for us in the Super Bowl. Remember he signed that contract for like to be a consultant or whatever.
Yeah.
So he been trying to push his way out. He been wanting to retire. But you know what it is with him? It's just like players buy in, and like after last season, who's not gonna buy into him as a coach, as a player, like moving forward, like he already let it be known, like this is how we're gonna win and this is how we're gonna do it. So I really see him as a long-term cornerstone. Like the defense to me, that's why I'm not too concerned about the defense because they're gonna be set with Fangio with the old school style that he got.
Yeah, and I
Imagine
think
And you can
Zion
just see it.
you gotta give a lot of credit to Nick Sirianni with that too. With him and the veterans that we had, like as far as on defense with Brendan Graham, those veteran guys that has that voice.
Yeah.
So when you come to class as a freshman, you got the seniors like, look, it's a hard class, but if you do what they tell you, you go get a good grade in this class. You gonna be successful. So
Yep.
showing up the class, they knew in their mind like this a tough coach. He wants the best out of us, so let's give him our best. And that plays into the veterans and Nick Sirianni, the president of Nick Sirianni.
That's a fact.
That's another thing about Nick too. It's kind of like the whole team, the way we have the coaches set up. It's kind of like a checks and balances type thing because you got Vic Fangio, who's a hard nosed, like strict coach or teacher, as we've been using as an analogy. When you have somebody like that, I feel like, especially with this generation of guys who are a little bit softer, a little bit flashier, like we were saying, you need a coach like Nick Sirianni, who's more of a player's coach. So like you can have both personalities, both the best worlds. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
it's like you got one coach who's like a player's coach, still takes his job serious, but he could joke around, laugh, be cool. And then you got Vic, who is like, he's probably not gonna laugh, he probably won't even crack a joke, but you're gonna go to work and get the best out of it.
You know he an old school DC because he up in the box. So all the old school defensive coordinators like to watch the game from. They're not even on the sideline. He gouging the whole field. He wants to see what's
Mm-hmm.
going on. You understand? So I'm just so happy we got him. And you got a coach that you know is not going nowhere. He wants to retire in Philly. So whether he got 5 years in the tank, 10 years, 3 years, whatever he got left, the Philly's gonna get all of them.
Y'all remember when Javon Hargrave left and went to the 49ers, I
That's
believe,
right.
and then he was
Yep.
saying how the Eagles practice wasn't tough and stuff
It
like
was
that?
soft. Yeah, we said they were soft.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, but I feel like that like flipped the switch kind of
It did.
with us
It
because
did.
after that, I think it was like all up from there pretty much.
Yeah, and Fangio would say the same thing. Like,
Y'all
we gonna
saw.
practice more than 30 minutes a day.
We
I'm
had
sorry to
tackling
tell ya.
issues, and to me, tackling issues is coming from lack of practice.
Practice.
The Eagles
Yep.
had tackling issues. Like, do you remember they couldn't versus that Tampa game in the playoffs? They couldn't stop a soul.
That
Oh my
bro,
God.
that
That
was
was
so
embarrassing.
bad.
Peyton
Oh my
Manning,
God.
Eli Manning. We was It's crazy how we went from a laughing stock to like the big bully on the block. Everybody's scared of us now, trying to ban
And
plays
that
and
jump
everything.
is crazy. Like that
Yeah,
jump
Stupid
from
crazy.
32 to 1, I think they said that's never happened.
that's never happened. It's the biggest leap in
No.
history.
I mean, it can't
Biggest
get
leap.
bigger.
Yeah, you can't get
Now,
bigger. No, I think they
I
were
think we went from
30th, Scott.
29,
Yeah, 29
29
to
to
20.
1.
Oh,
1.
okay.
That was the
So it
biggest
can be
leap
So,
in history
nah, they said it was the
defensively.
biggest leap. It was another team that leaped, more spots, but
Yeah, I
not to
didn't even know
number
that.
one.
Oh,
So
not to
we
Not to
made
number
the
one.
1.
biggest
Oh,
leap from
got it,
20
got it.
from where we came from to number one.
So that's what it is. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like
crazy though.
And think about it, us as fans. Think about where we was at a year ago. We was like, yo, Sirianni's not the guy. We was happy about Saquon, but we were like, Sirianni gotta go. Sirianni gotta go. Then remember, we went through those first 4 games, like Saquon said on a Exciting Whites podcast. He said, we was a team that we went 2-2, and then after that, they had the bye, and then it was lights out after that. It was just rolling with the punches.
I'm a piggyback off what you said, Jay. So, and Cooper DeJean mentioned this too on that podcast with Saquon. Like, think about all those rookies like Cooper, Quinyon, Jalix. Like, they're bought in now. So, like, they're bought in. They know what it's like to win a championship their first year. So that's like their expectation. So now they have to teach the new rookies the same way to win a championship. So just seeing that as a whole, like it's a pedigree. Like like you won a championship. You know what to do. Bro, there's players out there that don't know how to win a championship. Like they just don't know. They do everything. And you literally working out, you doing all that stuff, you doing all the training with false hope that you can get to the Super Bowl. You feel me? So for them to see that first year, like that's heavy, bro. Like that's heavier than people really think it is. And they're bringing in rookies. Like,
Yep.
luckily enough, we had Brandon Graham. Like they had Fletcher Cox And going back to that whole like the practice stuff, I think it's because we had a lot of vets. We had
I
a
think
lot of
so too,
vets at
bro.
that time.
Definitely.
But we had a lot of vets at that time. That's why we did that. But bro, just the caliber of players that we have, and we got Cowboys fans, Commanders fans, Giants fans saying that they can take us out. We in Texas right now. What's one thing we know about Texas? The best teams are the teams that grew up with each other and know each other the best and have the best chemistry. So which team is going to have the best chemistry going into this division? Philly.
For the
Like,
Eagles.
yeah. So
We
it's
grew up
like,
together.
yeah, bro. Like they developed together. They went through shit together, bro. Like that 10-0 run and then falling flat on your face. Like they went through all that together, bro. They went through a championship together. So it's deeper than Dak's hurt. Like you feel me? Like Dak's hurt. We're not going to go anywhere. Like bro, like
Yeah.
it's deeper than that, dog. Like that's what
No. Let
I
them
don't think
keep thinking
anybody
that. We gotta let
understands.
them keep with the delusion.
No, bro, because I think we need to just like it's almost like we need to sun them and understand, bro, you can't do this. Just because you
Listen,
got George Pickens does not
Bro,
mean
why do you
anything, bro.
think? Let me
Warren,
tell you something. I'm gonna tell you
Warren,
something right now. I'm gonna tell you something as a fan, a real talk as a fan. Going into the Washington game, everybody's like, "Yo, Washington." I was like, "We're gonna punch them. We're gonna punch them." They're like, "Yo, you crazy, Jada. We're gonna punch them." Like, no, bro, listen. There's no way a team that's just gonna come off the street a year later take what the Eagles been trying to grind up and build for 3 years. I remember we all had this conversation. Ain't no way. And what did we do? We punched them right in their face. So to me, the rest of the division got a while to go. The Eagles been building this, and
they
the
5
whole
years
league should.
behind.
Yeah, the whole league should be scared, bro. Jalen has only ascended. This team is only ascended. Saquon is super excited. You got AJ just chilling. You got Devontae Smith as a silent killer. There's just too many things. You got Dallas. He took the pay cut to stay with the team. You got this just a lot going on to make a team. Football is a team sport, and it's like you said, Warren. The rookies learned how to win, and now they all putting it together again. And this is going to be a good run. This Eagles team is going to go on for the next couple of years. I promise you that. Because Howie went back to his 2017 roots when he built depth, when it was the next man up mentality. Because the year before that, we had no depth, bro. Injuries were happening. We had the receiver room was very, very thin. We had nothing. We would lose one player, the whole thing would go in disarray. Right now, the depth the Eagles have, think about every player, their replacements already in the building. That's a very well-rounded team, bro.
And they know that. That's the thing. They know that, bro.
Yes.
Like you know your replacement is in the room.
Should make you step up, and I believe that's what how
the major difference. I think the major difference between the 17 Eagles that won the first Super Bowl and then our Eagles that won last year, well, they're both ours, but you know what I mean. I think that the biggest difference to me was that a lot of those guys, like we talk about a lot, they were just, like 1-year deals, but they were also older players who were just trying to it was like, okay, I got my one ring, I'm good. Yeah. But this team is a bunch of young guys who it's like, damn, I still got 5, hopefully 10 years left in this league, so I want way more than one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it take me back to what I said earlier as far as we 5 years ahead of everybody. So everybody that they trying to draft, other teams trying to draft and bring in and beef up their O-line, beef up their D-line, we've been doing that. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, how we locked in our core for the next 3 to 5 years. So we got core pieces and core players that's going to always be there, to make this run. So you can cut off the trimmings and stuff like that and add little decorations, but as long as you got that core, you know what you got. And we got some champions. We got champions.
I like that you said that, Antoine, because you want to know one thing that I'm tired of hearing? Oh, y'all ain't going to be that good. Y'all lost Milton Williams. Y'all lost Josh Sweat.
He was just a decoration.
Bro, what?
I'm not exactly.
What do you like? No Sweat. Like, bro, we knew when we had Moro Jomo that when we picked him up, bro, we didn't even know who Milton Williams was. I'm not even going to hold y'all. I didn't even notice who Milton Williams was till that 49ers championship game where we took out Brock Purdy. I didn't even know who he was till then, bro. That's
we're not gonna do that one.
we knew who he was.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean though. He didn't make a name for himself till then. So
But
I'm
even the
looking at.
Super Bowl, they made a lot of casual
He was in the
NFL
Super
fans
Bowl,
didn't
bro,
know
but
who Josh Sweat, who didn't know who Mil. To us, we know them, but they were not changing
yeah,
games for us. That's what people don't understand.
Right.
They had their best game on this biggest stage. Y'all don't watch them the
They
whole
did.
couple. Y'all watched them
Yeah.
for that one game, so y'all thinking they records. They're not records. I'm sorry. I respect them.
that's true.
I appreciate them, but if you
They're
really watch the
rotational
Birds,
pieces.
ask yourselves this question: which time did Josh Sweat take over a game in his whole Eagles career besides the Super Bowl? Never.
Super Bowl.
Ever. Ever.
And just think about it like this: Howard Roseman, as smart as he is, bro, like what makes you think he didn't say, "Yo, let Josh Sweat take off, let Milton take off. They're not going to be here. Let them get a good contract
And
and
they knew
get a
that
ring
too.
on top of that."
I mean, the plan was always to I think the plan was always to re-sign Milton until the Super Bowl. Like
Super
when
Bowl.
his stock went up so high that it's like it's not even worth it at that point. And then with Josh Sweat, the plan was always the opposite. It was always to release him or
Yeah,
to
'cause he
let him
took the
walk
cut.
because
took
he
the cut
he
to
took the
begin
cut, and obviously you're never going to take a cut twice, and then obviously
Mhm.
also you're never going to pay a player of Josh
That took
Sweat's
a cut.
caliber.
I think Milton was
Yeah.
planning on leaving though, bro, because like you got to think about it like this: you need your core. I think that was the year to figure out if Jordan Davis was your core, because like they picked up Jordan Davis in the first round, so
Yeah.
like that's like Jordan Davis. That position is supposed to be for him,
Mhm.
and I think Ty Robinson is going to be another Milton Williams. As much as I think Ty Robinson is going to be good based off highlights, Jordan Davis, if he steps up, he's going to be our core. Like,
But do you think that Ty Robinson will be the replacement for Jordan Davis, and that Moro Ojomo is the replacement for Milton?
That's
I
a good
think,
question. That's yet to
yeah,
be seen.
that's a good question actually, because their defensive tackles, they're all rotations. Jalen Carter is the one that they're
The
double
only
teaming.
one, yeah.
Yeah, he's the one they're double
Yeah,
teaming.
he's the
He's
conduit.
Playing 90%.
Yeah, so like you got to think about it like this: if you got one guy who they're double teaming every time that doesn't mind staying on the field, you can put everybody else in rotation. So
Yeah.
like they just got all them boys in rotation, and then with Josh Sweat, Jalen Hunt's with Josh Sweat's replacement, bro. Like
That's obvious, yeah.
anybody that's an Eagles like watch the Birds knew that.
Yeah, he
Like
was handpicked.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah,
be him
bro.
and Nolan Smith. They're both kind of undersized, but they both got the speed to bend. I think.
But
they're
I
gonna
think
get-
undersized is what they're looking for, because every
'cause
time
they
they talk
bend the
about
way
a
they
defense,
bend. Yeah, the way
yeah,
they
like
bend
every
is
time they talk
crazy.
about an edge, they keep saying undersized, and I feel like that's kind of what they want.
Because
Because
you know what
that
it is?
bend,
They
like we
get
talking
under
about.
the pads of the old linemen. When they're undersized, like a smaller feisty D lineman is gonna get really under the
And they're
pads.
so
Like,
fast, bro. Like
almost
Nolan
so
Smith,
low.
too.
Like
He's
that's why I
so
call it
quick.
bending. It reminds me of Hassan Reddick when he had that season. He was bending past every left tackle. Like he was just getting around on him and keep leaning his body. So I see Jalen Hunt. Like, he's another one. He had his best game during the Super Bowl, but I expected that from him because he's been waiting to explode. He hasn't had enough playing time.
I think you're right, though. Like with this new peak of like athleticism that seems to happen every 20 years is like
Yeah.
it's almost like undersized at the edge position is better because those dudes are still like built tough, but they're a little bit smaller, which makes them faster. So strength against strength, obviously that's different. But when you can like swipe like that, knock a hand down, and then just run past, like that's tough, bro. And Nolan and Jalen Hunt, like they're two dudes that are really good at that.
Nolan
Yeah.
Smith is the one we got to keep an eye on, bro, because he kept getting better and better and
Better.
better.
And
it's
he's
like,
super undersized, bro. He's
yeah,
small.
he's super,
I
So
want to
speaking
keep
of
Nolan, bro.
speaking of
Football
that, undersized and strength for strength, y'all going 100 men on one gorilla.
yeah.
100 men, bro. It's 100 men.
I'm going to
It's 100 men.
100 men.
I'm gonna explain to you too. Put it this
Like
way,
you're
bro.
saying, like normal dudes, just normal dudes.
Nah, we're not talking
Average.
about normal. We just talking about
Yeah.
100 men.
And
So
is this like a top tier gorilla?
Not King Kong or nothing. Just
like Harambe.
yeah.
Listen,
I don't know
man.
who that
How about we
is.
do 100
Who said Harambe?
Cowboys fans versus
Is that from a
100
movie?
You remember Harambe?
Yeah.
A movie, bro?
Rest
Nah,
in peace.
that's
Nah, Harambe is the one that they killed him for no
killed.
reason. But anyway, that's besides the point, bro. It's 100 men because if you honestly, just send 100 men at one time. He can't beat all of them. Come on now.
Right. And I'm just saying, like, because you used like the speed and quickness thing. And so people that I've been talking to,
100 Jalen
they were
Hunts.
saying a gorilla would take out 100 men. I said, you crazy. We're not going strength for strength. Like, we human beings. We know how to strategize.
Yeah.
Gorilla don't know how to strategize. It's not that
Gorilla
aggressive.
just gonna be like this, bro.
Yeah, it's not
Just
even
like
aggressive like that.
Yeah.
'Cause,
He
you
can't
know, it's
handle
not
every
even
angle.
immediate.
He can't handle every
nah.
angle.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the other thing. Gorilla
Somebody's
is
gonna have to
they're
take
not
some
even
L's
aggressive.
though. There's gonna be
Oh
casualties.
yeah, it's gonna be a couple fatal blows.
For sure. For sure. You're gonna lose a few good men, but I think
All right, out of
coach
us, out of us four, oh damn, that it's definitely probably either me or Jay. But out of us four, who dies first?
Listen, a gorilla, it don't matter if you 100 or 300, the gorilla
God,
sweeping
it
your
ain't
ass
gonna
off your
be you
feet.
because you know white people don't die in the horror
I'm gonna
movies.
just be in the back. I'm gonna be in the back, like, yeah, y'all get him.
I'm gonna be on my
I
ninja
just,
shit. So
bro,
I'm gonna be on
I
my
just
ninja
think
shit.
that
So I'm gonna
I don't
pop
know,
up on top of
bro.
him like,
Just because I feel like the gorilla is strong, bro, but I don't think if you say 100 men is a lot.
It's
yo,
a
Like
lot.
it is
100
a lot.
Cowboys fans
You
versus
could
100
just
Eagle
pile
fans.
him,
That's it.
could just
You'll
tush
kill
push
him.
him until he suffocates, low key.
Look, bro. Put 100. Like, if you get, even if you get 50 out of the 100 that are like Jordan Davis, like that. I'm
Right.
sorry, but that gorilla is dead.
He's done. Yeah, he's
Nah,
done.
for sure.
You
Yeah,
very you
that's
mix.
a
You
good
throw
one.
throw him a
I
little
just
mix.
don't. I've been back and forth with that. I feel like it's 100 men, and then I think about the gorilla, and I'm like, a gorilla can like put in work, bro. Like they can, but a
But like
hundred men,
Antoine said, they're not
they
even
don't
that
have the
really
cardio. They
aggressive,
don't have the
bro.
cardio either for it.
They're not
Right.
aggressive. And like a chimpanzee might be different if they were bigger, because chimpanzees are mad aggressive. Like they're gonna try to kill
Mad
you.
aggressive. And they eat
But like
humans.
I'm
a
a Planet of
gorilla,
the Apes fan, bro. So I like Planet of the Apes. So I'm trying to
those are
root
good
for him,
movies.
bro.
Can't root for him if you're fighting for your life, bro.
Hey,
Y'all wanna
what
you
put
wanna
me in
talk
that
about the
situation,
hard knock situation?
Oh yeah,
man?
good point. Good point, Antoine. Good point.
I hate it. I hate it.
Why?
Let's hear it.
I
Yeah,
just think
explain.
I personally don't like it because that's what the Cowboys want. Like the Cowboys want that. They want to be polarized. Like they're gonna put on their pretty red dress for this. Um, the I feel like the Eagles, we like to stay low key. We got a lot of players, bro, that don't like for the lack of better words, they
The
don't like the
camera.
malarkey. They
The
don't like the
attention. Yeah.
malarkey, bro. Like they don't like all that.
Yeah.
So
He said
like
malarkey.
they don't like the malarkey, bro. So like think about it like this. Jalen is we're not gonna see Jalen. Like think about it. Think about how many times in the locker room they never go to Jalen's locker. We're not gonna see Jalen. AJ Brown's barely gonna talk. Devontae's barely gonna talk. It's strictly everybody's gonna fall in love with Saquon the lineman. That's it. That's
Yeah,
all that's gonna happen.
I can see that.
Why you mad, bro?
So
Why
it's
you
just
mad?
I just feel like it's kind of pointless, but I do see it when you look at the schedule and you look at the narrative that they're setting up right now. Like it's the best division right now to watch. Like when you really
Hey,
think about it.
but what you feel about like what you saying that like I mean we won the Super Bowl, so you know
Mhm.
eyes that's gonna come that's one of the perks. You go get
Yeah.
more eyes on you. Rather good eyes,
Mhm.
bad eyes, it don't matter. More people want to see you. So,
Mhm.
you know, when we watch the unscripted and the hour 22,
That's our
you
joints.
don't get
Yeah, we love it.
butterflies. You don't get butterflies with that, you know?
Not really, just because with the unscripted, it's with Philly.
Shut up, Scott.
So like
Eh,
it's the
Nah,
Philly
we
media,
be
bro.
talking about it. We be talking about unscripted and want to be like, oh yeah, that was so great.
I
Now,
loved
you
it.
know what
Oh
No,
it
my
I
is?
know you
God.
like it. I know
I
you.
say great.
Time out.
I don't say great.
That's good. No,
Oh
that's
my
When the
God. It
hell
was so oh
when the
my
hell
God.
have
You
I
sent it
ever
to the
text
group
that or
3 or 4
said
times.
Warren. That's
All right, he didn't say great, but he said we be
but
talking about how
yeah.
cool it
We
is
do.
to see
Yeah,
but
that.
but
but
listen. But
You
what
think
we're
I
I'm
ain't
saying
saying
catching,
that
Warren. That's
because
all I'm
is
saying.
He said, "What I say,
stuff
great."
is made by Eagles content creators. This is gonna
yeah,
be made by them, so they're gonna completely put their narrative on how
yeah,
they
bro.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
That's
yeah,
like
true.
yeah.
That's true.
they're gonna put their narrative. They're gonna find drama. Like shit, if they see Quinyon and goddamn Cooper like slap boxing just for fun, they're gonna call it a fight in the back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna try to find a story out of it. That's why that I like
I'm
Dallas is
laughing at
putting
Nah,
on their
but
pretty. Dallas is putting on their pretty red dress for it, bro.
Yeah, I'm
Because
laughing
Jerry
for it because
Jones, he
they
gonna
did
get the
make a
makeup
point.
ready. Like
I
all of
know,
them
man.
boys gonna get ready, bro. Like
Because you do
That's
it's
the
know,
so
thing is
good.
the fan, bro. Like I feel like our fans are gonna ruin it. Like that's the thing I don't like about it is that, like you said, if they portray one little bit of like you already know how it happens already. Like AJ could, Jalen could go to dap up AJ. AJ's not really paying attention. The media, the Philly fans are like, oh, they hate each other. Like, bro, that's gonna happen
dry
a lot,
dap. It was a
probably.
dry dap. It was a dry dap.
Yeah,
yeah, it happened regardless. You know,
it
Mhm.
happens
like
regardless.
they always gonna have a negative light, for AJ Brown for the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's expected, bro. But I still want to see like the insights of the training camp
I do want to see
because that's
that
stuff that
too.
we don't get to see because when they be having practice and they kick the camera crew out, so you can't watch
Mhm.
practice. You
You
be
can't
like,
see
damn, I want
anything.
to see
Yeah.
that.
I want to see that.
I
Yeah,
can't
So
lie.
you get a chance to
Okay.
see,
Initially
behind the
saw it,
scenes a little bit.
yeah, I
No,
wasn't
you got a
happy, but
point.
I'm happy
That's
about it
actually a good
now.
point. It's kind of
I'm
like
actually
reality
happy.
TV for us a little bit, but we
What'd you say,
actually want
Jay?
to watch it.
I'm saying that before yesterday, I wasn't happy about it, but now actually like thinking about it all day, and I was like, you know what? Since it's the whole division, it's gonna be good because we the blueprint. We the ones everybody
Come
want to
on
be
now.
like. They catching up to us, so it's like at the end of the day, we're the standard, and we're gonna show it
Come
on
on
TV
now.
for the whole world to see.
I
So
thought it was
after,
weird though, because like my understanding of watching Hard Knocks was it's always a trash team. You know what I mean?
yeah. But they switching it up because you know what, bro?
But they
Yeah,
That
switching
they
it
need
show,
up.
more money. The trash
that
teams aren't
show.
making money.
Mm-mm.
The
Yeah.
only people who want to watch that show is like the fan of that team. So like I think they
Mhm.
switched it up to like make it more everybody want to watch. Cause bro, I really
Yeah.
couldn't take Hard Knocks. But I don't watch that show to be honest. It's been around for years. I don't watch it. I just
Yeah,
don't
I
watch it. It's just not
watch.
my. But
No,
I
you're
will
good.
watch the Eagles one now. I'm
Mhm.
onto it now because now that I'm thinking about it, you know what, we're gonna get to see the battles, the stuff that we read about, or all the notes we don't get to see. We're gonna actually see it now.
Do
And
you
it's the
think we're
NFC
gonna see it,
East.
or they're gonna? Because Devontae did ask Devontae about Hard Knocks.
My boy,
Yeah,
appreciate you, Gio.
yeah, that
You already
comment is
know.
funny. Scotty making it to the end of the movie.
Yes,
I already know.
sir.
Yeah.
Now, now I remember
Holy
Devontae.
Scotty
They
shit.
safe.
asked him about Hard Knocks, and Devontae
That's
said they
hey,
didn't
Scotty
know
that's
safe.
yet.
how the directors do it. I'm just the actor, bro. I'm just the actor.
I'm gonna be on
Yeah,
my
bro.
I'm
I
gonna be
just
on my
think
knees and shit.
I think Devontae don't like that. Devontae don't like it. I don't think AJ likes it. We're not going to see Jalen. Like I'm telling y'all boys, we are not going to see Jalen at all.
Nah, but think
'Cause
about it though, bro. Like we get to see the Cowgirls and they delusion and they circus.
Yeah, we get to
We get
see
to see
that.
Washington, they up and coming. Like let's see what they talking about. And we got the
I
I
want to
Giants.
just
You
see
know
it
they're a mess,
yeah.
but it'll be fun to
Nobody's
watch.
interested in the Giants one,
because
bro.
remember
But if
we the
you think
bullies
about
and
the
boys of them.
division as a whole, bro, like we are the division that has the most rings. We are that division. We are the division that made the most changes in the offseason. So
We are the
like
toughest division. No back-to-back winners
And
since
we also
we're the
have
2000.
two
toughest
of the
division now. Yeah.
we
What
have
do you
the
got?
top two teams that make the NFL the
NFC.
most money is the Cowboys and the Eagles. So
And
Mhm.
I
Warren,
mean
you know
they're
why?
doing the right thing.
You know
Yeah.
why
Right.
I say we're the toughest division? Because, like I said, no back-to-back winners since 2000. And what does that tell you? Every year, there's no clear-cut favorite. It's every year is you don't know who's gonna win. So that's
Competition.
why I think we have the toughest division. Because no team in our as good as we've been, we still haven't put a run together where we could win a division for 3 straight years. They neither have the Cowboys,
Yeah.
neither the Giants. So to me, this is the toughest division in all of football.
The
Yes.
East Rutherford Giants.
The East, the new he loved calling the New Jersey Giants. When he was on here, Gio was like, he loved
When did
calling them
they
that.
say when it's going to start? Are they starting at the beginning of the season or
I
are
thought you
they?
said week 11.
Well, it was week 11 last year. Last season when they did it, it was week 11. I'm hoping that they do end up like starting it week 11 just because like we kind of know where we at by then. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, for the most part.
we
We don't
kind of
have to
know
put
where
up
we
with that.
stand. Yeah,
Plus
we
that
know
would be
where we
worse
stand.
because if we had like if it does come out to be like bad drama or whatever, at least it'll be late. I don't know. I actually don't know how to think about that. But either way, I think it's gonna be dope, bro. I think it's gonna be cool
Yeah,
to see like the
I've come
inside
around. Yeah.
scoop.
Yeah,
Gio said December 28th.
December 28th. Okay, so
I
Yeah,
think
so
that's
that's
what's
late in the
that?
season. Yeah,
That it?
that's
Yeah,
late.
we'll
That is
have
like
3 games. We'll have like 3 games left.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
very
that's
late.
like
That's
Maybe.
week
usually the
15.
fourth quarter of the season already.
No, I'm perfectly fine with that, bro. Because think about it. if we in a good position, we really don't care about these W's. Like, let them.
I mean,
let
the
them talk
Eagles
to
are
the
used
rookies
to
in the
it. Like you
backups.
said about the cameras, the Eagles are used to it, but there's been extra cameras following them all the playoffs, the Super Bowl, NFL film, NFL offseason. They just been like Antoine said, it comes with the territory. You win a
Yep.
Super Bowl, things like this is gonna happen. The world wants to know what's going on in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah,
too.
No, it's definitely content, and it definitely helps content like for us. You know what I mean? For stuff
Warren,
to
you
talk
gonna be
about.
killing hella them. You gonna be killing them shorts off that training.
But
You crazy? It's food for you, bro.
but yeah, but I'm saying, but at the end of the day, bro, like I like how we not in the spotlight. Like I've never been like, y'all know me just as a person.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
low
like
key.
it.
Yeah. You're low key.
So like the fact that they low key and they winning championships with that, and nobody knows their secret. Like,
You can't have both, bro.
did they do that with the Patriots back when they were winning? Why don't they do the Chiefs? Like,
Well,
Chiefs is more
Now the
polarized.
Chiefs,
Yeah.
Mahomes had that show like quarterback or whatever where they fought and watched.
Yeah, but that wasn't
That
like
was
the Chiefs
him
though.
based
That was
though.
just
Yeah, that was him.
yeah.
Yeah, but they chilling like in his living room, bro. Like this is different.
I'm not gonna lie though, I do like that. That's a good show too. That bro, I look forward
I've
to
never
that.
watched it.
Jalen
The
declined
quarterback,
that show. They asked
receiver,
him to be on it. He declined.
yeah, he declined it twice, both
Yeah.
seasons.
How do y'all feel about the new award that they're giving to I think it's best protector?
Yeah, best
Yeah, offensive lineman.
Happy
Yeah,
about
Bro, that
how
should
do
have been
y'all
a
feel about
thing.
that?
Why
Yeah.
wasn't that a thing? You know what I mean? Like
Lane would have
Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson, they would
Lane
already
would have
have.
about 5 or 10 of them.
Yeah, Lane would have
Yeah.
Lane would have been winning that John every year.
That's true.
Hey,
That's
I
true.
think that's gonna get him something to ball for this year. I think he gonna be the
my
inaugural
Lotta,
one.
bro. Let me tell you, you know who? Landon Dickerson, bro. Yo, I was watching some of his Super Bowl, bro. He was freaking pushing folks out the way, bro. Landon Dickerson and like it was just crazy, bro.
I like how he came off that double team and did the spin move and block dude. Like, damn.
Yeah, that was a super highlight. And they got the angle on that play too. That's crazy, the camera angle.
But Mailata's the highest rated football player of all of the whole league, bro.
Mailata's
Really? I didn't even know that,
Yeah.
bro.
The highest rated football player,
PFF.
not even just offensive tackle, like
No,
every
PFF
single
has it,
position,
yeah.
like
Number
yeah,
one.
all of it, bro.
Like
That's
when
pretty
you grade
insane.
a
It was like
player,
99.9, 99.9 or something.
What?
And this is a dude that played rugby, not even
Yeah.
wasn't even planning on
he's
playing
another
football.
one that
And he's only like 26.
Yeah, he got a minute, bro. He's gonna be a lifelong Bird. You could tell, bro, because the
Yeah, for
Birds
sure.
gave him everything he got, bro.
I think
Yeah.
all the linemen on the Eagles is probably going to stay. Like I can't see unless whoever's going to be the guard.
I mean, the guard is a swing position. Remember, Antoine said it best. We can't pay everybody, so that's the
We also
position
got that guy that
where they just
we
gonna throw
drafted.
whoever in there.
We
I know
drafted
who you're
somebody
talking about. Yeah,
that can
he
play
broke
guard
his
and
NFL.
center.
I'm so
Yeah.
unconcerned
Yeah.
about that because Stoutland University, bro, he take a scrub and turn him into an all-pro. So, it's also crazy how players come to Philly, even like Fangio, people come to Philly, and it's just like they resurrect themselves, bro. Like they really find themselves. They find their passion again. Even Saquon's career is basically starting now. Like whatever he did with the Giants doesn't even matter.
That's disrespectful, bro.
I'm just being honest.
He said he wanted to be
everything.
remembered as an Eagle.
He said he wanted to be
Uh-huh.
remembered as the Eagles. Like, you gotta understand, bro. People come to Philly and it's just. I mean, maybe Scott could tell us more. What is it, Scott? Like, what is it about Philadelphia that makes everybody turn into a dog?
I mean, I think it starts. I think it starts with the city itself, bro. The fans, like
The grit, right?
people don't really understand unless you grew up. I mean, you could see from the outside looking in. Y'all could see from the outside looking in, but unless you actually lived in that city and grew up there, bro, like all people care about is sports. Like they give their whole life. Like they go work a 12-hour shift, do this, do that, and they're just regular, middle class people. But all they want to do is spend money on floor seats or spend money on like 100 level. So it's like when you have that type of, just look at the parade, bro. 1.7 million people, like. Everybody left. Nobody was at home. Everyone showed up to go to the parade. Like
everywhere.
that stuff makes you. I don't care who you are, because I know there's players out there that just make it to the NFL and they've never really watched football in the past. They just play it because their dad wanted them to, and they're really gifted. But like, bro, once you play for a city like Philadelphia, you're gonna learn to
I will
respect
say
and
this.
love
I
that.
will say this. Philly is definitely the best sports town. I will say that. I've never seen a
I agree
city,
with that.
a city that's more like when you go to Philly, like people rock with Philly teams. You go to other places, it's all over the place. They rock with their team, but it's more
Mm.
diverse. Philly's a Philly place, like and like
We
Philly,
still
they
have
call them.
some people out there like that that are
Oh, you
like
got bird haters
Those
out
Cowboys
there.
fans
Cowboy
and
I
stuff
You
fans.
like
don't
listen.
that.
see them though.
Yeah,
You don't see
You
them like
got
that.
Philadelphians that hate the
yeah,
Eagles.
but they keep that
They
hidden.
annoyed by the Eagles. But I will tell you this: in Philly, they call them 4 for 4. You get a lot of 4 for 4 fans in
Four
Philly
for
that do
four, a
go.
lot of four for
Yeah, a
four.
lot of 4 for 4 fans. Not like other places. Like for example, me, I basically go for every New York team except football. Like I just New York football and me is misery. So that's why I've been an Eagles fan for over 20 years. But
Bro,
other than
I
that,
have a big family, bro, like a big family. Every single person in that family is 4 for 4. There's nobody that likes one other team. There's people that
see,
like players. Like even for me, like I'm a Sixers fan, but I'm also a Kevin Durant fan because that's
yeah,
who got me into basketball. But like that's just what it is, bro. Like you're a Flyers, Phillies, Sixers,
four for
Eagles, and that's
four.
it.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
they call it out there. So in my times in Philly over the years, I've learned that, and it's just like there's never a break from sports in Philly. Once one season ends, they lock into the next season. And things overlap, so there's always something to do out there. Like I said, to me, the best sports town in America, just because of the loyalty.
The
Yeah.
main
And
two is definitely, I mean, the Eagles. The Eagles are the biggest, and then the Phillies are the second biggest. Our Sixers and Flyers, like when they suck, people, the stadium will still sell out.
It
It'll
will.
still sell out, but there's nothing better than the Eagles, and
But
then we rock with
Scotty,
our
the
Phillies
Eagles
super hard too.
definitely are, like you said, our number one. Because I remember for the parade, I was just walking by and I was like, yo, every single business has an Eagles logo in their glass. Like coffee shop, Mexican restaurant, flower shop. Everybody has support. The Eagles get hella support in Philadelphia. Like from people who don't even
Yeah,
watch football. They just put the logo
Gio
on because
said,
they live in Philly. So they just rock with it because they don't even know what's going on.
Gio comment is
mm.
crazy. That boy said he lived in Germantown for a little bit because he was
Oh,
smashing
smash.
shit.
Oh, oh,
Germantown,
crazy.
Gio was in the hood.
Gio's outside.
Yo, but I'm gonna add to what you were saying a little bit because you were talking about tickets, how they
Yeah.
sell out. We all
Yeah,
all four of us were amped about going to this Cowboys Eagles opener, and we saw those prices for those tickets, and we said, you know what, my TV sounds a lot better.
Yeah, my
Um,
TV sounds. I could go to 2 games for the price of that one.
yeah,
Seriously.
like those ticket prices is crazy. Do y'all think they're gonna come down?
No.
I mean it probably will, but it won't be until the
Much.
day of the game.
I think if they do drop, it
Yeah.
won't be much. It'll still be expensive. I feel like if they drop. But real talk though, real talk, fellas, I'm really eyeing week 4 versus Tampa. Like that's really where I want. Where I think we should, if we have a neutral agreement, that's where I think we should at least start off. I would
Yeah.
love to do week 2 at the Chiefs. I don't think that's possible for me, but definitely week 4 Tampa is more logical.
My boy Clarence is a Tampa Bay Bucks fan, so
Yeah.
me and him were talking about it, and I told him that we were talking about going out there. So he's waiting for me to buy my tickets, and he's gonna buy his tickets, and he's trying to link up with us. So
All right, so yeah, let's talk about it
yeah,
off the stream. We'll start making a plan because I think that's the game we need to go. So I think we'll still kind of summerish over there. We could catch a vibe. We'll go out there for the weekend. Film. We go out there Friday. Do
It's
some
definitely
filming.
going to be still kind of summers, bro. My
Yeah,
cousin
so
lives out there. He
I
said it's going
think
to be like
yeah,
90.
for sure. It's
yeah,
September over there.
it's gonna it's just more humid out there, bro. That's the thing. It's just crazy humid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm down, but
yeah.
but yeah, fellas, before we get out of here. First, appreciate you, Gio, watching us. Appreciate you,
Yes, sir,
Wayne, watching
Gio.
us.
Word,
Everybody
Gio,
checking
Wayne,
us out.
everybody.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to us. The subscriptions is like a tip jar to us. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Tell a friend and tell a friend, please.
you know,
Yeah.
and we got the raffle coming up. Definitely check out the link. I mean, check out our channel. We definitely got a video talking about that. But we want to get you guys a free jersey, whatever player y'all want. So y'all already know what you got to do. Just go to the link on YouTube. It'll tell you about that. But yeah, fellas, y'all got anything before we get up out of here?
I think we covered it.
Yeah, we covered it all, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, fellas, let's get up out. Birds.
Go
Go
Birds.
Birds.
Yo.